I just got back from a 10th anniversary September 11th commemoration and gun shoot. And the weapon I brought that we shot the most was one of my Galils. And I couldn't help thinking how fitting it was that I'm using a rifle created and manufactured by Jews in a land in the Middle East struggling to keep one of the most functional societies, the most true democracy in the Middle East, alive under the constant threat of devout Mohammedan pressure to not even exist. And from the very start, with the massacre of the Jews in Medina during Muhammad's day, till September 11th, 2001, when another group of devout Mohammedans massacred Americans and people from other countries, including other Muslims, and beyond up till today. You know, just anybody who goes to the religionofpeace.com, and I urge you to do so, can follow the Ramadan Bombathon, the death count that goes along. And so it's really important that we never forget what exactly is going on that is causing all this death and destruction. I want to state first and foremost that people from Middle Eastern, South Asian, Central Asian countries, I have nothing against them as people. Just like Germans in the 1930s, 1940s, Russians and Chinese and Cambodians during the periods of communist rule. People born into those societies aren't inherently evil people, but what happens is they're put into situations where the underlying philosophy that is running the show is corrupting people into inhuman acts. And it's absolutely the same with Islam. Again, there's lots from those places in the world, the Middle East, Central South Asia, Southeast Asia, everywhere where Dar al-Islam has flowered, that despite Islam has a lot to offer. I run CDs in my CD player where I hear the oud, the tar, the saz, dumbex, darbukas, esraj, all sorts of wonderful musical instruments that I've come to love. I've seen for myself the magnificent splendor of the Blue Mosque and can appreciate the architecture of the Alhambra. I love Damascus steel. I love Arabesque script. I appreciate Wootz steel as well. I appreciate all the contributions Caliphate scholars added to mathematics and astronomy. So I'm not blind to the fact that people from these regions actually have things to contribute. But they're being held back by a philosophy that, in my opinion, has corrupted the entire idea of religion. If you look and just actually read the different works, all the Haditha, the Quran, everything, in the historical context, in the context of Muhammad's life, you're going to find that Islam itself and the God of Islam, even though they masquerade that it's the same God that Christians and Jews deal with, that worship, it is not so. If you really look into it, it's in essence Satan himself under the cloak of false piety and a righteousness that just is not borne out by behavior of people involved in that. So my real message to the people in Dar al-Islam, the people who've grown up in Islamic countries and have always been told that the way they live their lives is righteous, just like there's plenty of Christians and people of other religions who don't really know the facts and details of their religion. There are plenty of Muslims who really don't haven't looked into, or have even been discouraged from looking into what the religion actually says. Christ Jesus, as I am a Christian, one of his main commandments that we are to follow is to love one another. So my most loving message to people who have grown up in that situation of being told Islam is the way to go. You are better than Islam. You are better than following the words of someone who is a slave trader, a murderer, a caravan raider, a pedophile. All those disgusting, horrible things, who corrupted the words of Judeo-Christian followed by anything else he could piece together to make his life easier and bring more power to his world. You are better than that. You are better than being this hair-trigger violent person. Most of you who are Muslims who will watch this, you don't really realize just how deeply evil the philosophy you have been told is righteous really is. Whether it's acid throwing on women, all the misogyny, the female castration, the cloistering, all the various bombings, whether it's now in Iraq they can't find enough willing people to strap bombs to themselves, so they hold a man's family hostage and handcuff him to a car and make him drive a car bomb into vehicle checkpoints, or anything along those natures. It doesn't take much searching on the internet to find these things. And again, I encourage you to go to religionofpeace.com and Jihad Watch and anything related. Please, for your sake, love yourself, love your family, learn the truth about what it is you've been told to believe, and realize you are better than Islam. And let there be no more need to have days like September 11th to remember.